What's going on, guys? Welcome back to today's afternoon edition of the August 27th stimulus package update. Today, have a bunch of stuff I want to go over because today at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Mark Meadows and Nancy Pelosi had a call. This call was supposed to discuss future stimulus package negotiations, where both parties are currently at, where their numbers are, and address future aid for the American people. Well, the call lasted roughly 25 minutes, which is much better than most calls that Nancy Pelosi gets, but this call lasted roughly 25 minutes and yielded no truly positive results. Now, Nancy Pelosi did come out and say that Democrats have dropped their price from their $3.4 trillion price tag that was originally in the HEROES Act. They've dropped it down to $2.2 trillion, so over $1 trillion. All they ask is that Republicans increase their price to $2.2 trillion before they begin negotiations in earnest. So what that pretty much means is there's probably not going to be much in terms of stimulus talks over the next week or so until they get back to Capitol Hill. However, there will still be more updates as far as more stimulus, just probably not from the federal level. It'll be more from state and local agencies. So I will bring you more stimulus check updates. I will bring you more stimulus package updates, but just understand there will probably be no stimulus package getting passed anytime soon, and probably not until the end of September. And those are the words by Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. Now, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin stated over a month ago that a stimulus bill north of $2 trillion is a non-starter. Republicans will never pass it. Nancy Pelosi, on the other hand, said a stimulus package under $2 trillion will never pass through the House. Democrats will never go for this. Okay, this is one of the reasons why we are currently at a stalemate, at a standstill. Nothing is going to happen when two parties are so far apart. And I know it's hard to really fathom and to understand, but Nancy Pelosi and Democrats feel that they have the best package for the American people. They're looking after the American people and everything that they need, right? And then you got Republicans, Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows. They are looking after the American people, and they're like, no, we have the best package. We have exactly what the American people need. We don't need to take the country into more debt. We don't need additional aid to these agencies and to this and that. We only need $500 billion. But then Nancy Pelosi and Democrats are like, no, we need $2.2 trillion at least. Well, this is why it's so difficult. Now, this call came hours after the new Jobless claim report came out today, this morning. It was released that last week we saw another week over 1 million new jobless claims. That means there have been 22 weeks out of the last 23 weeks where we have seen over 1 million new jobless claims. That's unprecedented. That's huge. This morning, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has been absent from all these negotiation talks, he said, we need another one. The country needs another one, and he is specifically talking about a stimulus package. As of right now, don't bash me, I'm just trying to report the facts. As of right now, a second stimulus check is not really even being considered with how far apart the two parties are. It's not being considered by Republicans. It's not really being considered by Democrats. The second stimulus check is one of those things based on reports. Again, don't bash me, don't hate me. I'm just trying to report the facts. The second stimulus check is one of those things that would possibly be cut out in order to save money. Now, this is not what the American people need. This is not what the American people want. This is what Congress thinks we need. Now, stimulus checks would require roughly $300 billion. And $300 billion of a $500 billion package, it's not going to happen. It was even difficult to get $300 billion into a $1 trillion package. the way Republicans had it set up. It was in there, but Democrats said no. That doesn't meet the needs of the American people. It didn't have rental assistance, food assistance, state and local government funding, and so much more. So, with Republicans trying to pass a bill at roughly $500 billion, this means there's no room for a stimulus check. Even at $1 trillion, there was very little room. Not only was there very little room for a second stimulus check, a $1 trillion package and even a $500 billion package leaves out so many pieces of legislation. That is one of the reasons why Democrats are very upset that Republicans are not doing more. And Republicans are very upset that Democrats are being too greedy. And obviously Democrats think Republicans are being too stingy. So that's where we're at right now. To be honest, a second stimulus check is needed. It has been needed for a while. It will help many people. It will keep people out of homelessness. It will keep families and individuals out of depression. And obviously it's going to keep families from going into long-term debt that they will most likely never recover from. A stimulus check is needed, and Congress needs to find a way to get one passed, and they're not doing that. Things are going to get worse, and Congress, as of right now, does not seem to care. Now, I know they care. I know both Republicans, I know both Democrats, they do care, but it doesn't seem like they do. President Trump, he obviously has other issues to deal with. He obviously has to run the country and deal with a re-election campaign. So as of right now, the American people seem like we are on the back burner. Not only do Americans need another stimulus check, now Congress is going to be tasked with a new disaster relief bill for the Gulf Coast hurricanes and also the wildfires in California. This makes things even more difficult. People in Texas and on the Gulf Coast, they obviously have to deal with hurricanes. California, they're dealing with a wildfire. So as of right now, not only do Americans need more stimulus, more money, but the states are going to need more help. And that is where Republicans and President Trump, Steve Mnuchin, Mark Meadows, Mitch McConnell do not want to give aid to states that have not been fiscally responsible. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But here's what you need to know as we move forward in this pandemic. As of right now, the stimulus that we get will eventually be passed. The stimulus that we receive is probably not going to be the stimulus that many people have been wanting or expecting. We expected a second stimulus check to be passed over 2 months ago. It was never passed. We expected a second stimulus check to be passed before the Senate and Congress went on recess. It was not passed. We expect a second stimulus check to be passed when they get back. Chances are it will not be passed. If a second stimulus check does get passed, it will most likely pass sometime in January. This is the reason why I created a video a couple days ago where there is a high possibility that if a second stimulus check gets passed in January, it could potentially be a $2,000 stimulus check. It may not be monthly, but it would potentially be a $2,000 one-time stimulus check, which help out many people. But many people are not worried about what's going to happen in 4 months. They're worried about what is happening right now. Now, when a stimulus package does get passed, these are the things that will probably not be in it. There will probably not be a second stimulus check. There will be little, if any, rental assistance. There will be little, if any, food assistance. And little, if any, state and local government funding. What you can expect from this lack of leadership from Congress is that this is going to create an even wider gap between the rich and the poor. I've been on both sides. Understand, how the rich live, understand how the poor live. I can tell you right now, widening the gap is not going to help out many people. It's going to help out the rich. The rich are going to get richer, the poor will get poorer. But we need to stop that. This is also one of the reasons why I strongly suggest every single person in the United States and every single country out there, you start some type of business, and particularly an online business. This is what I've been doing since 2006, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt this is the best decision I ever made. I could not expect, I could not, even think about what life would be like to work for somebody else or to rely on the United States government for assistance. As of right now, if you don't know how to get started, if you don't know what kind of business to run, I did a video earlier today. Go and watch that video. It'll be the first link down in the description box below. At the end of that video, it's about 8 minutes at the end of this video, the video I did this morning. The last 8 or 9 minutes talk about how you can make money online using Facebook, how you can make over $100 per hour using Facebook absolutely free. So if you didn't get a chance to go and watch that video, again, it will be the first link down in the description box below, so make sure you go and check that out. But again, yes, finally stimulus talks have resumed, or somewhat resumed. Nancy Pelosi said they will not have any talks in earnest until Republicans bring their price up, and Republicans, they really don't have anything to say about Democrats other than you need to be less greedy. Let's get something passed. So we will see what happens, but that is your stimulus package update for the afternoon of August 27th. If you have any questions, please let me know what your questions are down in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Do yourself a favor, smash that like button, and also subscribe so I can keep you updated on all stimulus updates. And I'll see you guys on the next one.